Nature has created an extraordinary product, olive oil, the liquid gold of the Mediterranean. When combined with the right foods, it becomes a true elixir of longevity. Today, we will explore 10 perfect pairings with olive oil that are especially beneficial for people over the age of 60. These combinations are a real gift for the joints, brain, heart, and other vital organs. Together, they not only help maintain good health, but also significantly slow down the aging process. This video is going to be incredibly informative and helpful. If you want to take control of your health like a pro, give it a like, and let's get started. Combination number 1, olive oil and boiled beets, a healing duo for blood vessels and the brain. Picture this, a red, juicy beetroot, freshly boiled and generously drizzled with golden olive oil. This simple yet incredibly beneficial pairing can become a true lifeline for your brain and blood vessels. After we pass the age of 60, our blood vessels begin to lose elasticity, and blood flow to the brain decreases. Recent neurological studies reveal a concerning trend. Nearly 78% of adults over 60 experience various forms of cognitive decline, largely due to poor nourishment of brain cells. But nature has given us a solution to this problem. Beets are a treasure trove of nitrates, which help dilate blood vessels and improve circulation. A remarkable study from the year 2023, conducted by a team of scientists in Boston, revealed a surprising fact. Regular consumption of beets increased blood flow to the brain by up to 14% in just 6 weeks. It is like opening new roads for oxygen and nutrients to reach your neurons. Now, what happens when you add olive oil to beets? It is nothing short of a chemical marvel. Olive oil contains fat-soluble compounds that help our body absorb betaine and powerful antioxidants found in beets. Without a fatty environment, many of these valuable substances would simply pass through the body without being absorbed. Professor Mark Lipton from the Longevity Institute at the University of Southern California led a groundbreaking study that shook the scientific community. His team discovered that nitrates from beets, when combined with the polyphenols in olive oil, create an extraordinary synergistic effect. Among participants over the age of 65, the elasticity of blood vessels improved by 23%. To put that in perspective, it is comparable to the results of doing daily physical exercise for 3 months, but achieved with much less effort. The story of the Greek island of Ikaria, which has an unusually high number of people living to an advanced age, offers a real-world example of the power of this combination. The residents of this island regularly live into their 90s and beyond, maintaining clear minds and active lifestyles. The elders of Ikaria enjoy beet salads drizzled generously with local olive oil twice a week. One especially remarkable case is that of Stamatis Moraitis, who lived to the age of 102. After returning to his home island from the United States, where he had been given only 9 months to live due to a severe health condition, he went on to live another 50 years. Stamatis often shared that he owed his mental clarity to traditional Icarian foods, including his weekly ritual of eating beet salad with olive oil. Gerontologists studying the residents of so-called blue zones, regions with the highest concentrations of long-lived individuals, have come to an astonishing conclusion. According to their longitudinal research, consistent consumption of a combination of beets and olive oil may potentially extend a person's life by 4 to 6 additional years. This happens due to the powerful combined effects on the cardiovascular system and the brain: improved circulation, a reduced likelihood of stroke, protection of neurons from oxidative stress, enhanced memory, and better cognitive function. Incorporating this healing combination into your diet is incredibly simple. Prepare warm beets, slice them, then generously drizzle them with unrefined olive oil and sprinkle fresh dill on top. The flavor of this dish is rich and deep, with the natural sweetness of the beets perfectly balanced by the subtle zest of olive oil, and the health benefits truly priceless. Combination number 2, olive oil and stewed eggplant, a powerful alliance against cholesterol. Imagine soft, melt-in-your-mouth stewed eggplant soaked in fragrant olive oil. This is not just a delicious dish, it is a true wellness treatment for your blood vessels. Modern medical statistics reveal a concerning trend. More than 63% of people over the age of 60 have elevated cholesterol levels. After 60, the risk of atherosclerosis and related conditions increases rapidly. But research shows an incredible fact. Regularly eating eggplant together with olive oil can reduce levels of low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, often referred to as bad cholesterol, by up to 30%. Eggplants contain a special type of soluble fiber that acts like a sponge for excess cholesterol. They literally absorb unhealthy fats from food, preventing them from entering the bloodstream. And when you add olive oil to eggplant, something remarkable happens. The polyphenols in the oil enhance the effects of the plant sterols in the eggplant, while the fatty acids help stimulate the production of high-density lipoprotein cholesterol, the kind that protects your blood vessels. Dr. Rachel Johnson from the Research Center of the American Heart Association led a groundbreaking study observing a group of older adults in the early stages of atherosclerosis. After 6 months of regularly eating eggplant with olive oil, just twice a week, inflammation in the walls of their arteries dropped by an impressive 18%. This is a real breakthrough, noted Dr. Johnson. Such a reduction in inflammation is comparable to the effect of certain medications, but without any side effects. The story of Yasuhiro Matsubara from the Japanese island of Okinawa is another powerful example of the strength of this combination. Matsubara lived an extraordinary 107 years, remaining mentally sharp and physically active until his final days. When asked about the secret to his long life, he often pointed to his garden, where he grew eggplants. 3 or 4 times a week, he prepared a traditional eggplant dish, but with an unusual addition for Japanese cuisine, olive oil, which he had started using after visiting Greece in his youth. "I never had heart problems," Matsubara would say. "My blood vessels are as clean as those of a young man." A posthumous examination confirmed the remarkable condition of his arteries, which is extremely rare for someone of his age. Dr. Walter Longo, one of the world's leading experts on longevity, suggests that regularly consuming eggplant with olive oil can extend life by 3 to 5 years. This benefit comes from the comprehensive protection of the cardiovascular system. Cholesterol levels are reduced, the function of the endothelium, the inner lining of blood vessels, improves, and both inflammation and oxidative are lowered. Including this healing combination in your diet is very easy. Prepare a warm salad with roasted eggplant. Add a bit of chopped garlic, some fresh parsley, and generously drizzle it with unrefined olive oil. The flavor of this dish is rich and satisfying, with a light smoky note from the eggplant and the deep aroma of olive oil. Enjoy your meal and many healthy years ahead. Combination number 3, olive oil and broccoli, a natural shield against cancerous conditions. Imagine fresh, vibrant green broccoli, its florets resembling tiny trees, gently cooked and drizzled with golden olive oil. This combination of 2 Mediterranean treasures forms a powerful shield to protect your health, especially after the age of 60, when the risks of developing cancer-related conditions rise significantly. According to recent data from the American Institute for Cancer Research, among individuals over the age of 60 who regularly include broccoli with olive oil in their diets, the risk of developing cancer-related conditions is reduced by 27%. This is a remarkable statistic, especially considering that the likelihood of facing various forms of cancer increases exponentially with age. What makes this combination so powerful? Broccoli is one of the richest natural sources of sulforaphane, an extraordinary compound that actually reprograms our cells to defend themselves against mutations. This process is especially critical for older adults, as the body's ability to repair cellular damage naturally weakens over time. Olive oil plays the role of an ideal carrier, allowing the body to absorb not only sulforaphane, but also a full spectrum of fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin K, all of which are abundant in broccoli. Professor John Fahey from Johns Hopkins University and his team discovered a stunning fact. Olive oil increases the bioavailability of sulforaphane by 2.5 times. Without a fatty base, explains Professor Fahey, most of broccoli's protective compounds are not absorbed by the body. Adding olive oil is like opening the gates for an entire army of defenders that would otherwise remain outside the fortress. The story of Antonia Jerkic from the Dalmatian region of Croatia is a living testament to the power of this combination. Antonia lived an extraordinary 103 years in a small coastal village, where she ate broccoli steamed with extra virgin olive oil every day. Her family physician, Dr. Maria Kovac, who monitored Antonia's health for 50 years, noted an astonishing fact. Despite her advanced age, Antonia's immune system functioned like that of someone half her age. She rarely got sick, even during seasonal outbreaks in the village. Until her final days, Antonia maintained high energy levels, took care of her garden and olive grove on her own, and passed peacefully in her sleep, without prolonged illness or suffering. Dr. David Sinclair, professor of genetics and nutrition expert at Stanford University, concluded after many years of research that daily consumption of broccoli with olive oil can add approximately 5 to 7 years to a person's healthy lifespan. This benefit is achieved through a combination of protection from oxidative stress, enhancement of immune function, and activation of autophagy, a process by which the body eliminates damaged cells and components, renewing its tissues. Incorporating this healing combination into your diet is very simple. Steam the broccoli to preserve as many nutrients as possible, then drizzle it with fresh olive oil and add a splash of lemon juice to enhance the flavor. You can also prepare a warm salad by combining broccoli with other vegetables or add it to an omelet. Just make sure to use olive oil during cooking. The clean, fresh taste of broccoli pairs wonderfully with the fruity notes of high-quality olive oil, creating a dish that is not only healthy, but genuinely enjoyable. Combination number 4, olive oil and turmeric, a golden duo for joint health. There is something magical about the bright yellow of turmeric blended with the golden hue of olive oil. This union of two ancient healing ingredients forms a powerful anti-inflammatory remedy, especially valuable for people over the age of 60, when the joints begin to send warning signals. Current statistics from rheumatologists paint a concerning picture. More than 80% of people over 60 suffer from various degrees of joint inflammation, ranging from mild discomfort while moving to chronic pain. However, clinical studies show that turmeric combined with olive oil can reduce joint pain by 45% within just 2 months of regular use. This effect is comparable to that of certain anti-inflammatory medications, but without the side effects. What is the secret behind this remarkable duo? Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, possesses powerful anti-inflammatory properties that are on par with those of modern pharmaceutical drugs. However, it has a significant drawback: extremely low bioavailability. Simply put, the body absorbs almost none of it unless it is consumed with fat. This is where olive oil comes into play. It not only enables the absorption of curcumin, but also enhances its effectiveness by 7 to 8 times. Professor Eric Geisbert of Cornell University conducted a groundbreaking study that even astonished seasoned medical professionals. His team compared the anti-inflammatory effects of turmeric with olive oil to those of popular non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. The results were stunning, said Professor Geisbert. The combination of olive oil and turmeric not only matched the effectiveness of the medications, but in some areas even exceeded them, all without causing any negative side effects on the liver or gastrointestinal tract. The story of Abhay Patel from the Indian region of Kerala is living proof of the power of this combination. Patel lived an extraordinary 109 years and began every morning with a ritual: 1 teaspoon of a mixture of olive oil and turmeric on an empty stomach. His physician, Dr. Ramanand, who monitored Patel's health for the last 40 years of his life, noted an incredible fact. Despite his advanced age, Abhay's joints remained flexible and mobile. He went on 30-minute walks every day and climbed the stairs of his 2-story home without assistance. X-ray examinations revealed minimal signs of osteoarthritis, which is extremely rare for someone of his age. Professor David Heber, a gerontology and nutrition expert based on many years of observation, states that regular consumption of turmeric with olive oil can extend an active, mobile life by 4 to 6 years. This happens due to a complex set of effects. Chronic joint inflammation is reduced, microcirculation in joint tissues improves, cartilage degradation slows down, and oxidative stress throughout the body decreases. Including this healing combination in your diet is very simple. Add 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric and 1 teaspoon of olive oil to warm oatmeal or vegetable soup. You can also make golden milk, an ancient Ayurvedic recipe. Warm up some plant-based milk, almond, soy, or coconut. Add a pinch of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of olive oil, a bit of black pepper to increase the bioavailability of curcumin, and honey if desired for sweetness. The spicy, slightly earthy taste of turmeric is beautifully complemented by the rich, fruity aroma of olive oil, creating a combination that is both therapeutic and delicious. Combination number 5, olive oil and roasted pumpkin, a duo for protecting vision and preserving youthful skin. The golden orange flesh of roasted pumpkin drizzled with emerald green olive oil creates not only a vibrant culinary contrast, but also a powerful alliance for protecting vision and maintaining youthful skin, two essential aspects of quality of life after the age of 60. Studies from ophthalmologists reveal a troubling picture. By the age of 70, about 72% of people experience significant vision decline, which seriously limits their independence and reduces their quality of life. However, there is promising news. Regular consumption of pumpkin with olive oil can slow down this vision loss by an impressive 34%. What is the secret of this remarkable duo? Pumpkin is a rich source of beta-carotene and lutein, compounds that selectively accumulate in eye tissues, especially in the macula, the central part of the retina responsible for sharp vision. These compounds act like molecular filters, shielding delicate photoreceptors from the harmful effects of ultraviolet and blue light. As we age, the natural defenses of our eyes weaken, making the additional intake of these nutrients critically important. There is one challenge, though. Both beta-carotene and lutein are fat-soluble, meaning they cannot be absorbed by the body without the presence of fats. This is where olive oil steps in, the perfect carrier for these valuable nutrients. Not only does it enable their absorption, but it also aids in the targeted delivery of these compounds to the tissues of the eyes and skin. Dr. Stephen Ferris from the National Institute on Aging conducted a groundbreaking study that surprised even experienced ophthalmologists. His team discovered that the carotenoids in pumpkin, when combined with the oleic acid found in olive oil, form unique lipoprotein complexes that selectively accumulate in the tissues of the retina and dermis. It is like precision delivery of essential nutrients, explained Dr. Ferris. Molecules of beta-carotene and lutein, wrapped in a kind of olive oil packaging, travel through the bloodstream directly to the tissues that need them the most. The story of Maria Estuardo from sunny Costa Rica is living proof of the power of this combination. Maria lived an extraordinary 106 years and twice a week prepared a traditional family dish: pumpkin puree with olive oil and a pinch of cinnamon. Her ophthalmologist, Dr. Carlos Montenegro, who monitored her eye health for 30 years, was astonished. At 100 years old, Maria could still read without glasses. The condition of her macula and lens matched that of someone 30 years younger. Equally remarkable was the condition of her skin. Minimal wrinkles and very little age-related pigmentation, despite a lifetime spent in the sunny climate of Costa Rica. Professor Jennifer Lin, a specialist in age-related ophthalmology based on many years of research, states that regularly consuming pumpkin with olive oil can extend eye health and preserve youthful skin, potentially adding 3 to 5 years of vibrant, high-quality life. This happens due to a comprehensive effect. Photoreceptors in the retina are protected, microcirculation in the eye tissues improves, cataract formation slows down, capillaries that nourish the skin are strengthened, and the production of collagen and elastin is stimulated. Including this healing combination in your diet is very easy. Roast the pumpkin. Roasting preserves the maximum amount of nutrients, then either mash it into a puree or cut it into cubes and generously drizzle it with extra virgin olive oil. A pinch of cinnamon can be added to enhance the flavor and boost the benefits. Cinnamon improves the absorption of beta-carotene. The sweet, velvety taste of pumpkin blends beautifully with the fruity, slightly peppery notes of quality olive oil, creating a dish that is not only healthy, but genuinely delicious. Combination number 6, olive oil and beans or chickpeas, a tandem for energy and diabetes control. Imagine creamy beans or chickpeas soaked in aromatic olive oil. This is more than just a nourishing dish. It is a true energy booster and a natural blood sugar regulator, especially valuable for people over the age of 60, when the risks of diabetes and energy deficiency increase significantly. Modern statistics in the field of diabetology paint a concerning picture. Nearly 40% of people over the age of 65 have either prediabetes or diagnosed type 2 diabetes. As we age, insulin resistance tends to accelerate, and the pancreas gradually loses its ability to produce sufficient insulin. At the same time, there is a natural decline in muscle mass, known as sarcopenia, which reduces the amount of tissue that actively absorbs glucose. But nature has provided a remarkable solution to these problems. Clinical trials have shown that regularly eating legumes with olive oil can reduce the risk of developing diabetes by 23%. How is that possible? Legumes contain a unique combination of slowly digestible carbohydrates and plant-based protein, which ensures a gradual rise in blood sugar without sudden spikes. The fiber in legumes creates a lasting feeling of fullness and improves the sensitivity of tissues to insulin. The protein supports muscle mass, helping to prevent age-related sarcopenia. When olive oil is added to legumes, a true miracle of metabolic chemistry takes place. The monounsaturated fats in the oil further lower the glycemic index of the dish, making blood sugar rises even smoother and safer. At the same time, the polyphenols in olive oil protect blood vessels from damage caused by even minor fluctuations in glucose levels. Dr. Frank Hu of the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health and his team conducted a groundbreaking study that shook the diabetes research community. They discovered that combining plant proteins from legumes with the monounsaturated fats in olive oil improves insulin sensitivity by 27% in people over the age of 60. This is comparable to the effect of certain medications, explained Dr. Hu, but without side effects and with added benefits for cardiovascular health. The story of Luigi Ferrarone from the mountainous province of Sardinia, Italy, offers living proof of the power of this food combination. Luigi lived an extraordinary 112 years in a small mountain village where chickpea soup with olive oil was a central element of his daily diet. His family physician, Dr. Antonio Cagliari, who monitored Luigi's health for the last 40 years of his life, noted an astonishing fact. Despite a genetic predisposition to diabetes, Luigi always had ideal blood sugar levels. The tests we conducted every 6 months consistently showed the values of a healthy 30-year-old man. Equally remarkable was Luigi's vitality. Up to the age of 105, he worked in his garden daily, climbed hills to collect herbs, and actively participated in village celebrations. Professor Michelle Serrano, a leading endocrinologist and diabetes specialist based on long-term studies, states that regularly including legumes with olive oil in the diet can add 6 to 8 years of healthy life free from diabetes and metabolic disorders. This effect is achieved through a combination of benefits. Blood sugar levels are stabilized, insulin sensitivity improves, systemic inflammation is reduced, muscle mass is preserved, and visceral fat is decreased. Including this healing combination in your diet is very easy. Prepare a salad with boiled chickpeas, fresh tomatoes, and red onion, then dress it with olive oil and freshly squeezed lemon juice. You can also make traditional Mediterranean hummus by blending chickpeas with not only tahini, sesame paste, but also high-quality olive oil. The soft, nutty flavor of legumes is beautifully enhanced by the fruity notes of olive oil, creating a satisfying, nourishing, and incredibly healthful dish. Combination number 7, olive oil and boiled or stewed carrot slices, a gift for the brain and liver. Bright orange carrots drizzled with olive oil create not only a visually appealing color contrast on the plate, but also a powerful union of nutrients, especially valuable for supporting brain and liver health after the age of 60. Neurological research reveals a concerning trend. Cognitive functions begin to noticeably decline after the age of 65, and by the age of 80, this process affects approximately 82% of the population. At the same time, the liver, the organ responsible for detoxifying the body, faces increasing strain. After the age of 60, its natural functional activity decreases, making older adults more vulnerable to the toxic effects of medications, alcohol, and environmental pollutants. Fortunately, nature offers a solution to these problems. Recent clinical studies have uncovered a surprising fact. Regularly eating carrots with olive oil can improve cognitive performance by 19% in just 4 months. At the same time, liver function tests tend to normalize and the liver's ability to regenerate itself increases. What makes this unique combination so effective? Carrots are a rich source of carotenoids, powerful antioxidants that selectively accumulate in brain and liver tissues. The primary carotenoid in carrots, beta-carotene, is not only a precursor of vitamin A, but also has direct neuroprotective activity, shielding neurons from oxidative stress. For the liver, beta-carotene acts as a natural hepatoprotector, strengthening the membranes of liver cells and stimulating regeneration processes. However, there is a major obstacle. Carotenoids are hardly absorbed without the presence of fat. This is where olive oil becomes essential. It not only facilitates the absorption of these valuable compounds, but also complements them with its own protective substances. Professor David Perlmutter of the University of California, San Francisco, and his team conducted a groundbreaking study that opened a new chapter in neuronutrition. They proved that carotenoids from carrots, when combined with the polyphenols in olive oil, create a powerful neuroprotective effect. We observed a remarkable pattern, said Professor Perlmutter. The polyphenols in olive oil stimulated the formation of new neural connections, while the carotenoids in carrots protected existing neurons from degradation. This dual action is especially valuable for the aging brain. The story of Hiromi Tanaka from Okinawa Prefecture, Japan, is a vivid example of the strength of this combination. Hiromi lived an extraordinary 115 years and included stewed carrots with olive oil in her daily diet, an unusual combination for traditional Japanese cuisine, which she inherited from her grandmother, who lived to be 108. Professor Keiko Yamamoto, who monitored Hiromi's health for the last 30 years of her life, was astonished by the condition of her internal organs. A computed tomography scan we performed when Hiromi was 105 years old showed a liver that in both function and structure matched that of someone half her age. Equally impressive were the results of her cognitive tests. Hiromi retained a clear mind and excellent memory until the final weeks of her life. Leading hepatologists and neurologists agree that regularly consuming carrots with olive oil can extend the functional vitality of the brain and liver by 5 to 7 years. This is due to a combination of effects. Neurons and liver cells are protected from oxidative stress, microcirculation in brain and liver tissues improves, cell regeneration processes are stimulated, and neurotransmitter balance is normalized. Including this healing combination in your diet is very simple. Steam or stew the carrots, slice them or mash them into a puree, and then generously drizzle them with extra virgin olive oil. For enhanced flavor, you can add a small amount of honey, lemon juice, and fresh herbs such as parsley or cilantro. The naturally sweet, earthy taste of carrots pairs beautifully with the fruity notes of high-quality olive oil, creating a dish that is not only beneficial but genuinely delicious. Combination number 8, olive oil and sauerkraut, a symphony for the gut and immune system. In the traditional cuisine of many European countries, sauerkraut dressed with olive oil holds a place of honor on the table, especially during the colder months. And this is no coincidence. This combination creates an extraordinary symbiotic effect, especially beneficial for gut health and immune function in people over the age of 60. Modern research on the human microbiome reveals astonishing facts. After the age of 60, the diversity of intestinal bacteria begins to decline rapidly, decreasing by about 40% by the age of 80. This dramatic shift is directly linked to weakened immune defense, increased systemic inflammation, and reduced nutrient absorption. Aging also affects the structure of the gut. The protective mucus layer becomes thinner, the production of digestive enzymes decreases, and intestinal motility slows down. But nature offers a solution to these challenges. Studies show that regularly consuming sauerkraut with olive oil can restore microbial diversity by 28% in just 3 months. At the same time, the gut's barrier function is strengthened, and the activity of gut-associated lymphoid tissue, a critical component of the immune system, increases. What makes this combination so effective? Sauerkraut is a rich source of live probiotic bacteria that colonize the intestines and displace harmful microorganisms. During fermentation, cabbage is enriched with lactic acid, short-chain fatty acids, and B vitamins, all of which are essential for nourishing the cells of the intestinal lining. Olive oil, in turn, contains oleic acid and polyphenols, which act as a food source, prebiotics, for beneficial bacteria and help protect them as they pass through the acidic environment of the upper digestive tract. Dr. Robert Johnson from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and his team conducted pioneering research that opened a new chapter in microbiome science. They confirmed that the lactic acid in sauerkraut, when combined with the oleic acid in olive oil, creates a unique symbiotic environment in the gut. We observed a remarkable effect, said Dr. Johnson. This combination selectively promoted the growth of beneficial bacteria, especially Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium, while suppressing the growth of opportunistic microbes. Just as importantly, it helped restore tight junctions between intestinal epithelial cells, strengthening the gut barrier. The story of Olga Petrova from the Russian Republic of Bashkortostan is a vivid example of the power of this combination. Olga lived an incredible 108 years in a small village in the Ural region. Every day, she ate homemade sauerkraut generously dressed with olive oil, an unusual ingredient for the region, which she began using after her son brought it back from a trip to Greece in the 1970s. The local physician, Dr. Igor Semenov, who monitored Olga's health for the last 25 years of her life, noted an astonishing fact. Despite her advanced age, Olga Stepanovna rarely caught colds, even during seasonal outbreaks. Her blood tests consistently showed ideal white blood cell counts and a high level of immunoglobulins. Her neighbors recall that during a flu outbreak in 2016, when nearly the entire village fell ill, 102-year-old Olga not only remained healthy, but also delivered herbal teas and helped care for the sick. Leading immunologists and microbiome specialists agree that regularly eating sauerkraut with olive oil can strengthen the body's defenses and extend healthy life by 4 to 7 years. This happens thanks to a combination of effects. Gut microbial diversity is restored, the intestinal barrier is reinforced, the production of secretory immunoglobulin A increases, systemic inflammation decreases, and nutrient absorption improves. Incorporating this healing combination into your diet is very simple. Prepare a salad using sauerkraut, ideally homemade and free from preservatives. Add thinly sliced onion, grated apple, and generously dress it with unrefined olive oil. For a touch of balanced flavor, you can add some cranberries or lingonberries. The pleasantly tangy, refreshing taste of sauerkraut is beautifully balanced by the soft, fruity notes of olive oil, creating a vibrant, energizing, and extremely beneficial dish. Combination number 9, olive oil and leafy greens, spinach, arugula, parsley, an elixir for blood and bones. Dark green leaves of spinach, arugula, or parsley, glistening with drops of golden olive oil, create not only an appetizing visual on the plate, but also a remarkable alliance of nutrients, especially valuable for the health of the blood and bones in people over the age of 60. Osteoporosis statistics present a concerning picture. By the age of 70, more than 65% of women and 42% of men experience significant bone mass loss, which sharply increases the risk of fractures and related complications. At the same time, the incidence of anemia also rises. Around 30% of people over the age of 65 have reduced hemoglobin levels, leading to chronic fatigue, shortness of breath, and cognitive decline. However, clinical studies show encouraging results. Regular consumption of leafy greens with olive oil can increase bone mineral density by 22% and raise hemoglobin levels by 15 to 18% in just 6 months. What makes this combination so effective? Leafy green vegetables are a treasure trove of vitamin K, calcium, magnesium, folic acid, and iron. Vitamin K is essential for activating osteocalcin, a protein that integrates calcium into bone tissue. Calcium and magnesium serve as the building blocks of bones, while folic acid and iron are key components for the synthesis of hemoglobin and red blood cells. There is a challenge, though. Vitamin K and many minerals are poorly absorbed without the presence of fat. This is where olive oil plays a crucial role. It not only facilitates the absorption of these valuable nutrients, but also contributes its own beneficial compounds such as vitamin E and polyphenols, which have antioxidant properties. Dr. Marion Smith from the American Institute of Nutrition and her team conducted a groundbreaking study that surprised specialists in bone health. They discovered that vitamin K from leafy greens is absorbed 437% better in the presence of olive oil. This is a truly dramatic improvement, explains Dr. Smith. With this level of absorption, vitamin K significantly boosts the formation of the bone protein osteocalcin by 31% compared to the control group. At the same time, we observed an improvement in erythropoiesis, or the formation of red blood cells, thanks to the synergistic effect of iron, folic acid, and the antioxidants in olive oil. The story of Margarita Vasquez from sunny Spain is a vivid example of the power of this combination. Margarita lived an extraordinary 107 years in a small village in Andalusia, where she ate a salad of various leafy greens with olive oil every day, a traditional Mediterranean dish that, in her case, became a true elixir of longevity. Professor Juan Moreno, who conducted a medical exam when Margarita turned 100, was amazed by the results. X-ray imaging showed that her bone density was equivalent to that of a 60-year-old woman. Even more impressive were her blood test results. Her levels of hemoglobin and red blood cells were at the high end of the normal range, which is extremely rare for someone of her age. Until her final days, Margarita remained active, tended to her garden on her own, and took daily walks through hilly terrain without any mobility issues. Leading orthopedic specialists and hematologists agree that regularly consuming leafy greens with olive oil can extend the health of the skeletal and blood-forming systems by 5 to 8 years. This effect is achieved through a comprehensive impact: improved bone mineralization, enhanced collagen synthesis in the bone matrix, activation of osteoblasts, cells that form new bone tissue, increased iron absorption in the intestines, and stimulation of bone marrow cells responsible for blood formation. Incorporating this healing combination into your diet is very simple. Prepare a salad from fresh spinach, arugula, parsley, and other leafy greens. Drizzle it with lemon juice. Vitamin C further enhances iron absorption, and generously dress it with unrefined olive oil. To add variety, you can include nuts, seeds, dried fruits, or pieces of fresh fruit. The fresh, slightly spicy flavor of the greens blends perfectly with the mild, fruity notes of quality olive oil, creating a refreshing, vitamin-rich, and incredibly beneficial dish. Combination number 10, olive oil and walnuts, a golden duo for the brain and heart. Amber-colored walnut kernels drizzled with green-tinted olive oil offer not only visual delight, but also a powerful union of nutrients, especially beneficial for brain and heart health in people over the age of 60. Recent neurobiological studies reveal a concerning trend. The risk of cognitive impairment rises sharply after the age of 65, increasing by approximately 10% each year. By the age of 85, around 40% of people face significant memory and thinking challenges. At the same time, the risk of cardiovascular disease, the leading cause of passing in older adults, also increases significantly. However, there is promising evidence. Regularly consuming walnuts with olive oil can slow cognitive decline by an impressive 38% and reduce the risk of cardiovascular events by 42%. What is the secret behind this powerful duo? Walnuts are the only nuts that contain high levels of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, alpha-linolenic acid, which are essential building blocks for neuron cell membranes and are critical for synaptic plasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections. Additionally, walnuts are rich in antioxidants, arginine, a precursor of nitric oxide, which dilates blood vessels, and polyphenols, all of which protect the brain and heart from oxidative stress. Olive oil does not just complement walnuts, it significantly enhances their protective effects. Its monounsaturated fats and polyphenols, especially oleocanthal and oleacein, proven anti-inflammatory properties, reduce the oxidation of low-density lipoprotein cholesterol and improve the function of the endothelium, the inner lining of blood vessels. Professor Gary Small from the University of California, Los Angeles, and his team conducted a groundbreaking study that opened a new chapter in the field of neuronutrition. Using functional magnetic resonance imaging, they showed that the combination of olive oil and walnuts increases blood flow in brain areas responsible for memory and decision-making by 25%. We observed an astonishing effect, said Professor Small. Within just 30 minutes of consuming this combination, activity in the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, critically important areas for cognitive performance, increased. Long-term use led to improved neuroplasticity and protection of neurons from age-related degeneration. The story of Georgios Argyropoulos from the Macedonian region of Greece is a living testament to the power of this combination. Georgios lived an extraordinary 104 years in a small mountain village where he ate a few walnuts soaked in olive oil every morning, a traditional local snack. Professor Andreas Stamatakis, a neurologist at the University of Athens, conducted cognitive testing when Georgios turned 100 years old and was amazed by the results. His memory, attention, and spatial thinking were equivalent to that of a 60 to 65-year-old. This level of preserved cognitive function is extremely rare at such an advanced age. Until his final weeks, Georgios remained mentally sharp, instantly recognized family and neighbors, recalled events from decades earlier, and could solve complex practical problems related to caring for the olive trees that filled his estate. Leading neurologists and cardiologists agree that this nutrient-rich combination can prolong cognitive health and protect the cardiovascular system, potentially adding 6 to 9 years of high-quality life. This effect comes from a combination of actions. Neuron membranes are shielded from oxidative damage, cerebral blood flow improves, inflammation in blood vessel walls is reduced, blood lipid profiles normalize, neural signal transmission becomes more efficient, and the production of neurotrophic factors that support nerve cell survival is stimulated. Incorporating this healing combination into your diet is very simple. Eat 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil and 2 or 3 walnuts as a morning snack. You can also add chopped walnuts to salads, oatmeal, or yogurt, and making sure to drizzle the dish with olive oil. The rich, slightly bitter taste of walnuts pairs beautifully with the soft, fruity notes of quality olive oil, creating a combination that is not only healthy, but also delicious, perfect for true gourmets and those who value vibrant, healthy aging. Next, I recommend checking out these videos, and don't forget to leave your likes and comments. I'm looking forward to them.